So I got the Galaxy Watch 7 Ultra here with me right now, and I'm going to show you everything that you need to do on this watch first. So if you just picked it up and you want to know what are some of the settings that you should change, I'm going to go over all of it with you right now. So let's get right into it. All right, now the very first thing we're going to do on our brand new Galaxy Watch is to program this action button. This is a brand new feature that came to the Galaxy Watch Ultra, and if you haven't programmed it yet, what you need to do is go into your wearables app on your Galaxy phone, make sure your watch is connected. We're going to go to watch settings, tap on buttons and gestures. Here at the top, we can select action. Now I have mine set to flashlight, but you can launch the Samsung Health app, start the stopwatch, or put it into water lock if you're maybe taking a shower or washing your kids or just swimming at the pool, or you can set it to none, but I don't know why you would waste that button. So you can see mine is set to flashlight, and when I tap on it, it will just turn on the bright display, and I can kind of use this as I'm navigating around my house in the dark to kind of just light the way for me. Next, what we're going to do is just go back one in the wearables app. We're going to go down to double press, and you can see by default it's set to go to most recent app. So anytime we double press this button up here, it's just going to go to the most recent app. You can see I was in the settings earlier. Now I do find it a lot more useful to set this to something more useful, maybe like an app. So we can tap into here, and now you'll see a list of all of the apps you have installed on your watch. So maybe you want to launch Spotify. That's a pretty useful one. So anytime maybe you're going for a run or a walk, you want to launch Spotify. And you can see now when I double press that top button, it's going to launch Spotify, and I can start listening to music. So that's definitely a lot more useful than just bringing up those recent apps. And below that, we also have this press and hold option. And you can see if we tap on it, we only have two options between Bixby and the power off menu. So when we long press that button, you can see it's going to bring up Bixby, and we can ask it some questions or ask it to do a few things. But obviously, nobody is really a fan of Bixby. So I'm going to show you how to change that from Bixby to be able to use your Google Assistant. And to do that, what you want to do is go on your watch. We're going to swipe up, and we're going to look for the Play Store right there. Then we're going to hit on the search icon right there, and we're going to look for Google Assistant. Now just swipe down until you see Google Assistant right there. If you don't have it installed on your watch, be sure to install it. And if it's not updated, it'll ask you to update. But once you have it installed on your watch, we now have to actually set it as the default assistant on this watch. And to do that, we're going to go back to our wearables app. We're going to restart this app because we've now updated or installed Google Assistant. We're going to go back to wearables. We're going to go to watch settings. We're going to go to buttons and gestures. And now if we tap onto here, you can see we now have that Google Assistant option right there. So now when we set that up, we're going to go back to our watch. And now when we long press on that button, you can see we get Google Assistant. All right, now if you scroll down to the bottom, we also have some gestures that are built into the watch, which are really cool. They're not enabled by default, so I definitely suggest you go ahead and enable them. You can see the first one is this double pinch one. So when you double pinch your fingers while wearing this watch, it can answer the calls, dismiss alerts, launch apps, control your music, and even take photos. So definitely a really useful feature. I suggest you enable this. You also have an option to shake to dismiss. So if you get a notification or a phone call, you can kind of just shake your wrist like this to mute that notification, just in case you're busy and you don't want your watch just vibrating on your wrist. And then you also have this knock knock option. So essentially when you kind of make that knocking gesture with your phone, you can do a certain action. So for example, you can select what option from here, and you can launch any app that you want. So maybe you want to launch your calendar app. Now every time you do that motion with your wrist, it'll launch that calendar app. Now one setting that I suggest everyone enable on their Galaxy Watch is to enable Wi-Fi, because the watch will get notifications from your phone over Bluetooth, but Bluetooth has a pretty short range. So if you forget your phone maybe upstairs or on the couch and you go to another room, if you start getting notifications on your phone, your watch might be out of range to receive those notifications. But if you connect it over Wi-Fi, you will get those notifications even if you are far away from your house, as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network. And to set it up, all you got to do is just swipe down on your watch face, tap on the settings button right there, and right there you'll see connections. We're going to tap on that and make sure your Wi-Fi is set to on. If it's set to off, just tap on it. It will ask you to enable it, and then once you enable it, it will search for the Wi-Fi networks that it's finding around you, and then just tap on your Wi-Fi SSID, connect to it, put in your password, and that's it. You're going to be now connected over Wi-Fi, and any notifications, emails, messages, phone calls, whatever's coming in on your phone, you're going to get those notifications on your watch. Even if you are out of range of your Bluetooth, you're not going to have to worry because you're still going to get everything over Wi-Fi. Now, one of the more useful things that you can use your Galaxy Watch for, and something that I pretty much use on a daily basis, is the ability to make NFC payments. So if you're going through a drive-through or you're at the mall and you don't have your credit card on you, or you just forgot it, you don't need to worry because you can make payments directly from your watch. It's super convenient and it's really easy to set up. All you got to do is go back to your wearables app, go to your watch settings, scroll down to wallet and tap onto here. Now, if it's your first time setting this up, it will take you through a bit of a process. You do need to create a pin or a pattern on your watch so that some random person can't just take your watch from you if they steal it and start making payments on your behalf. But once you have everything set up, all you got to do is tap on the plus right here, and you can see we have a few options. So if you want to add your credit card into here, just go ahead and tap payment cards. It will ask you to scan your credit card, verify your ID, and once you've done all that, you can now start making payments with your watch. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is make sure that we never lose our watch. So in the wearables app, if we scroll down, we actually have this section called Find My Watch. And what this will do is show you a map of all of the Galaxy devices that are registered to your Samsung account. And you can see I have my Watch Ultra right here. So if I ever want to ring it, if I lost it in the couch cushions or something, I can refresh its location in case somebody stole it and maybe they're moving around. But one thing that we're going to do right away is we're going to tap on these three dots where it says more, and we're going to enable notify when left behind. So now this way, if we ever take our watch off and we maybe leave it at a table at a coffee shop or something, if we take our phone and we get up and leave and the phone senses that the watch is not with us, it will notify us via a notification telling us that we forgot our watch behind. And this way we can make sure that we never lose it in the first place. Definitely a really important feature everybody should enable on their watch. All right, guys, now the next setting that you absolutely need to change on your Galaxy Watch is the way the keyboard works. So right now I'm in my messaging app. I'm about to send somebody a text message, and you can see this is the way the keyboard looks. So if I'm typing something and I now need to put a period, I actually have to swipe up on the keyboard, switch to this secondary keyboard, find the period, put the period, and now I have to swipe up again and go back to the main keyboard to start typing my message again. And that is incredibly time consuming and very tedious and just a lot of work to do. And there's a much easier way to do this. So what you're going to want to do instead is just swipe up, tap on the settings right there. And we're going to swipe down until we see double tap spacebar to add period. And now watch what happens. As you can imagine, when we go back and we start typing a message, instead of having to switch to that secondary keyboard, we can just double tap that spacebar and it will add a period. But we're not going to end there because we're going to make the keyboard even better. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to go back into these settings and we're going to swipe down until we see keyboard swipe controls. We're going to tap into here and we're going to add swipe to type. And what this is going to do is now when we go back to that keyboard, instead of just having to tap on the letter to type, we can use swipe gestures. And I'm going to show you just how good these are when it comes to typing. Hey, how was your night? Double tap for that period. Hope to hang out soon. Double tap for a period. And you can see just how easy it was to type that long message. If I had to tap all that to type it, it would have taken me like another 2 minutes to type that out. So the swipe keyboard on here is definitely really good, and the predictive text on these Galaxy watches is impressive. It just knows exactly what you're trying to type, and it does a really good job at doing that. So if you spend any time typing on your watch, I definitely suggest you go ahead and enable both of these settings. All right, guys, now the next thing we're going to do is add some tiles to this watch. And what tiles are is if you swipe to the left, you're going to see we have a few settings in here, like your pedometer. You can start a workout. You have your energy score and a whole bunch of different things. They're kind of like widgets, and you can actually navigate through them by swiping on the outer edge of your phone. But if you want to add more widgets, you can go to the very last tile. It'll say add tiles, and then you'll see a whole bunch of tiles that you still have available to add in there. This will depend, of course, on whatever apps that you have installed on your phone, but you can kind of just go through here and add whatever tiles you want. So let's say, for example, maybe I want to add my media controller here. That's a good one. We're going to tap on that, and it's going to add it to our very last tile. And if you actually want to move this closer to the start, you can tap and hold on it, and then tap and hold on the tile again. And now you can kind of just shuffle it around in between all of your tiles and put it wherever you want. All right, guys, now the last thing I'm going to have you do to your watch is probably one of the most convenient things that you can do that will just really make your life much easier. And that is to download playlists to your watch, because this watch does have some storage and you can install music directly on the watch so that you don't need to bring your phone with you anytime you want to listen to music. And that's great if you're ever going for a workout or a run. You definitely don't want to bring this big bulky phone, or even something like the Galaxy S24 Ultra. These are really big phones, and if you're running with them and they're just hitting you in the leg, it's not a very enjoyable workout. So I would definitely suggest you guys go ahead and install the playlist directly to your watch so that you can go ahead and listen to music without having to bring your phone. Now, the way to do that is to just find whatever music app you're using to play music on your watch. So maybe you're using YouTube Music or Spotify like myself. What you want to do is just launch that application. You want to swipe over, and then you'll see all of your playlists that you already have saved on your phone, or if you want, you can search for other playlists by going here. But now what you can do is just locate whatever playlist. I'm going to go to my playlist right there. And you can see I have 482 tracks or 28 hours of music on this playlist. And if I scroll down just a little bit, you'll see this download button right here. If I tap on that, it will now start downloading all of these songs to my watch. So this is going to take a little bit of time as it downloads all of these tracks to your phone. Once you do that, you now no longer need to have your phone with you. Anytime you go out for a run or a workout, you can leave it at home and just listen to music directly from your watch. All right, guys, there you go. That's going to do it for this video of some of the settings that I would suggest you change on your Galaxy Watch 7 Ultra. Definitely a pretty cool watch. I hope you learned some things and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.